Hello, hi, is me, Desai. Smotanti, you're hiding DJ over internet, Akastraha, I'm back. Hello, yella. I hope this camera is in focus. I'm sick and tired. I am sick and freaking tired. It's not it's for pictures. Like, it doesn't work well for video, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Lesego Pase, I think that's how you say Australian name. I hope I'm saying it correctly. Has been trending since Friday. It's Saturday that I sit down, Saturday evening that I sit down to talk to you guys. And I thought I was going to get it done in the afternoon, but I had a headache. Yo, guys, it's so heartbreaking. There's so many things we can talk about regarding what's transpired here. And I will try to pick a couple of things that we can talk about. And then you all in the comments can share your thoughts around other things because there is, again, I don't want to call them themes because it's somebody's life, but there are so many things to grab at and make a full video about or talk to women about with this particular matter. And the first one, just off the top of my head, is that sense of autonomy, that having your own shit, nothing beats that. Even in the year of our Lord 2024, nothing beats that. A man is not a plan. This is not me berating her. This is not me saying, oh, Lisel thought this, Lisel thought that. No, this is just one of the things that I'm looking at where I'm saying, take your lessons here because she said the posts that are coming up that she posted a while ago where she's talking about how, you know what, all that glitters. She herself is saying, I'm the cautionary tale. So this is not me trying to victim blame and shame her and say whatever, because that's not my vibe. I'm very much in support of her, and I was from jump. I do want us to look at, I'm on my Pepandaba, and I want you guys to go and look at the first post they put out about her. That's what I shared in the short. I posted a short around this, like in the evening sometime. I was super exhausted. And the headline says, Lesego Pase a shocking tell all or tell it all. Writing over there. But anyway, and I remember when I first saw this, I already knew that what it's heading for. Like when I was seeing screenshots of what is happening here, I was not confused. When I was sent these screenshots of her stories, then I went on here and I saw what is happening. I wasn't shocked to see what is in the comments. And when I say all the time that South Africa is still a largely conservative country, and it's obviously the teachings of like Christianity, other Abrahamic faiths as well, but also like, you know, how much um white supremacy, if you would like, by way of patriarchy, has permeated our cultural ways and made us like convinced us that um, patriarchy is inherently African and things like that. And in so doing, we are so quick. One of the tenets of patriarchy is to assign women blame. Like, whatever you do, it can't be the man. You know, much like God is perfect and God can't do anything wrong, he, him, and whatever. Men also can't do anything wrong. We're very quick to try and find out what Eve did. And this is what happened here. They post this, and I'm just going to go through some of these comments, right? So you guys understand where the people are. Why did she feel the need to post this? What, first of all, let's get into what happened. This woman posted, Lisel posted that her very young son lives with her dad, with his dad, and the dad is this well-known socialite who's known for dating slay queens. He's recently trended actually, and the trend was of every time he has one of these not side chicks, man, one of these Instagram baddies over, they all wear his robe and they take the same selfie, this Versace robe that they wear and they take the Samsung. This is literally just a couple of weeks ago, if not a month ago, that he trended for this, where they posted the different girls posted up in his place wearing that same Versace robe. So this person is known for moving around in these circles and for dating a particular type of girl. She had a baby with this person. We're learning now that her son may have been 2 or 3. So let's say 2, 3 years ago. And then ever since, it's alleged that she gave birth, and then they had a fight and she moved out or whatever happened, and then he went to report at the police station that she's without a place of like residence to house a child, right? Like a proper place to house a child. So he was granted temporary custody. That's how the child ends up with him. So what's happened now is that, because there are a lot of screenshots, if I read them, we're going to be here the whole day. So I'm going to try summarize this fast. What's happened now is that he lives with his son, and she posted a couple of days ago, like 3 days ago, before all of this transpired, that I was raising concern about the pool. There's a pool at his house. My son is very young. Anything could happen. And I was dismissed and stuff. It's almost like she could feel that something bad was coming, right? She's been raising, like trying to use the only thing she has to her disposal, which is her social media, to try and get some form of justice or access to her son or get her son back. And it's not being picked up by the blogs, this, that, and the other, until this very tragic thing has now transpired. So this person then calls her baby daddy Nduna then calls her, allegedly, according to the post that she put up, calls her on his way home, and he's saying, hey, it sounds like something has happened. The child fell in the pool. There may have been a drowning, but the helpers, he has two helpers. The two helpers called me and they said they got him out of the pool and what have you. Lesego is in such, not even just shock, but I would argue like PTSD of sorts from having been in a relationship with this person, that she does not believe him. Like, the way he seems to have operated in her life, according to her, this is all alleged, right? As such that this person actually thought, oh, this person is like pulling my leg. This person is trying to get me to like riot, trying to get a reaction out of me, or trying to get me to come over to his residence or send people over there so that I'm violating whatever thing, protection order he has against me, or I can get arrested and stuff. Or he's just lying to get my attention or to get me riled up or to like fuck with my mental or whatever. For a while, she's not believing what he's saying. He gets there and he's attending to the situation, or allegedly attending to the situation. She's calling paramedics to find out, hey, has a call being logged around this area, the police stations? Has anything, a case being logged of a supposed drowning? And there's nothing. And this person told them that people are on the way and stuff. At some point, she manages to get him on the phone. She's like, listen, may I please speak to the paramedics? What's going on? She's now learning, listen, your son is dead. Like, just like that, right? Your son has passed and it is what it is. She's trying to get the paramedics to explain. She literally is experiencing so much shock, as well as like, when you've dealt with a gaslighter, you can almost understand what is happening to her. Not almost, you actually understand. If you've been around somebody, or you've been a person who's had their mental fucked with like that. That's why gaslighting to me is one of those things where, like, if I feel somebody doing that to me, the kind of hate I feel for them, I can't express to you, because making somebody question their reality, like the brain is something we don't fully understand. So doing that to somebody, a psychological way, like warfare, I don't give a shit. Like, it's abuse. It's one of like abuses of the worst kind. This person's mental has been fucked with so much by this individual that none of this is adding up, right? And the shock as well, just from learning, even if there was never an abuse of any kind, just learning over the phone that, oh, the child may have drowned, oh, the child is like now gone. Do you understand how much that could just like rock you, and you don't know what's happening, right? And then jiggy jiggy, the child has been, now they're talking about mortuaries. Now they're saying we're burying tomorrow. She's like, why is everything so fast? I'm not even near. Like, I'm not near you. You're saying I can't even send my family members over there to see what's happening with the situation. What do you even mean? Do you understand? So this is what's transpired now. She's via email trying to get him to like give more detail so that she can have documentation if this ends up in the courts, because she's like, how are they burying my child in my absence? And rightfully so. I see that Kanye Bao has put out like a plea that we march for this woman, and we should. And we should. If something needs to get signed, if something needs to get done, we need to understand what has happened to this woman, because her child, from what I understand, these people aren't even Muslim or of a faith that says that they need to bury the deceased like as soon as possible. So she's posting that it's giving foul play, right? She's alleging that, why are they so quick to try and get rid of this body? Where the forensics and stuff? Where is the postmortem? Like, where are the things that are supposed to happen because this was not natural causes. Even if the child died, that's not like drowned, that's not a natural cause. That requires investigating, right? So that's what's happened here. And as she started to tell her story, we have the ngwele of I love my child more than anybody else could ever comprehend. So I'm gonna come on here and say, I would never be scared to run to anyone's house for my son. Never! Exclamation mark. I'll jump an electric fence for my kids. You'd be dead and fucking useless after that. You guys do and say a lot, and I'm not the first person to say this. I've seen people share this on TikTok. There's a lady on there who had a child who was diagnosed with something terminal, and the child died. And she's like, there's nothing that hurts more than when you're trying to piece yourself together and people are like, oh, you're so strong. I would not be able, and I, as if like you just feel a depth. First of all, you don't know the experience like that. You can't really say what your reaction would be to something like this because it's not something one can easily wrap their head around, even though death is something that like walks with us every day. It's a hard reality to get used to. So when you say things like that, what are you suggesting or implying? What's the implication there to how the other mother is reacting to what's happening? Mind you, you don't know if you'll be in shock. You don't know what will be happening. You don't know if it's fight or flight. You know nothing. So refrain from saying these kinds of things to people who have lost loved ones and to people who've lost like really young children. You're so strong. I would have done this to myself. Shut up. You've been feeding your children noodles the whole fucking week, mother of the year. Shut the fuck up. Right? Your child has not seen a balanced meal in two. Do you want us to come and actually judge your parenting before you tell us how you would grieve? Right? This idea as well that like things look a certain way, and that's an limbora momahong, like limbora west, like you've all watched so much television, you've decided that there's only one way to emote under a certain, like if I'm sad, this is how sadness shows up. And you ain't no Meryl Streep, bitch. You are no Viola Davis, okay? Your acting chops are Pearl Tusi at base. Like, step the fuck back. Some of you be putting on acts, doing stuff, throwing and stuff. It's not even, you look like those fucking twins, the one whose house just burned. It's not convincing. Nobody is buying that. Your grief is not going to come out the way they scripted in television shows. Throwing yourself on the box, asma should do. Like, it's not going to be Muvango, bitch. Like, it's not. And, like, grow up. Work on your emotional intelligence. People go numb. People experience denial. A lot of things, people shut down. We're not all going to jump in. Like, what are you going to do after jumping the electric fence except be in the morgue with said child? Stupid. Stupid. Why did you feel the need to post this here? She explains that this person is powerful. This person means he's friends with cops, the medics, the police station. People are calling him by his nickname. She's using the only resource she has available. Dense. That's what's happening here. Okay? Because Lislo vele, Lislo. Like, I mean, we're on the internet going back and forth with motherfuckers who probably failed arts and culture. You understand what we're going through? These are the type of questions we need to start asking now. Oh, Pastor L, like, like, just by, then you need to figure, oh, okay, I don't need to argue with you, bitch. I don't, you couldn't even tell me about Baswabali Hole, like, Lidioko Baji. Why the fuck am I talking to you for? Bored. Some people are making sense here, but there's a mixture of men and women in these comment sections. And I want you guys to clock that if you happen to be in a marriage or you happen to be less than smart in a situation where you're partnered with a man and he ends up on like birth certificates and stuff, but basically you end up in a situation where you now need this person's permission to do certain things with your own child, right? Whether it's moving schools, moving areas. Notice how you can be an absent father financially as well as physically. Be absent, right? And then want to move with your child because your job says you must move and you're going to do better in that area, earn better wherever. Notice how if you say you want to move with that child and the man is like, she can't just take my child, doesn't know the child's like shoe size, does not know the school they go to, does not know the teachers. She can't move my child. There will be slews of men talking about her. That's still his son. That is still his son. You can't just take somebody's child. They'll be there all up and down in the comments, like putting up a case for a deadbeat father, argue themselves, right? Where are they here now? Like, where are they? I'm trying to find them. And I keep a boni. You're the word be breaking down his front door. That's Dr. Maweni, but we know she's not smart at all. At all. The men I hear defending, oh my God, I'm so glad I didn't choose a slave queen. People would be like, she would run to social media to post instead of actually making sure that the child, mind you, this is the only weapon this person has. People have said this to us and they've tried to make us understand. The law is not about right and wrong. Okay, it hasn't been about that ever. Okay, if you're gonna do the up and downs in the courts, it's about who can afford to win, who can afford to pay for the lawyer and stuff. Because here we have a situation where this person has been able to get away with this forever long of living with this child, and all she's had is access to the internet and a little bit of Instagram. That's all the weapon she has. Because it seems like she's been trying to get our attention for a while, and we've not been listening. We have not. Okay, you will never be. Why she feel the need to post it here? Why doesn't she just go to the police station? Just a bunch of like the same stuff. Oh, he has a guys. The way they'll advocate, the way advocacy comes into play when it's time to stick up for a deadbeat dude, right? And only when the story starts to unfold, they all disappear. And then the tune changes and nobody comes back to say, oh, we had misread the situation. We judged this shit all the way wrong. Nobody comes back to say that. Nobody. Nobody comes in to say that when it starts to go because we are so obsessed with blaming women that when we're wrong, we can't even say sorry. Oh, it seems like we didn't have the full story and we gotta back it up just a little bit. Men don't love you. Men don't love you. Men don't love us. The child is yours. And when a man acts like he wants the child, and sounds like she's dealing with like a person because they have means. And he's telling her things like, I've dealt with women like you before. Go ask some of my baby mamas. I haven't spoken to them in 20 plus or whatever years and what have you. Like I said, there's so many lessons for us to take here. And one of them is always that you're no exception to the rule. This person, because it's not a you thing. It's not you're worthy of being loved. It's not you're not worthy of your child being taken care of. It's none of that. The common denominator is this person, right? You're trying to appeal to a part of a person that does not exist. They don't have that. Okay, the empathy you're hoping for them to apply for you, there's no empath to appeal to in them. Okay, the idea that a man has money, it's not a plan, guys. You are still your safest and best bet. Creating a good community, having family around this child, like your mom, your dad, your siblings, having those kinds of things going on is still a safer bet than some dude, unfortunately. And they will get you pregnant and they will use the child to try and control you. Because him keeping the child, again, the psychological warfare stuff, it literally has everything to do with putting her through the ringer. She mentions that one of the helpers, who happens to be his cousin, said to her, I'm tired of taking care of your child. Again, with the conservative shit, right? Because in your mind as a woman, it's what kind of mother, right? Let the dad take care of the child, but you don't feel the same way. If the shoe was on the other foot, if you were living with Lesego and taking care of the child while you're with Lesego, you were not going to run into Nduna and say, I'm tired of taking care of your child, because that's not your lens, right? Your lens is to judge this woman, even though you may have an idea that it's not of her liking, of her doing, that she's not taking care of her child, like she's not the primary caregiver. You probably know this. This is the kind of things that a person is telling you, and then your child allegedly drowns in their presence. It's giving neglect. If you were that tired, I'm inclined to believe you weren't even watching my child. My mind is going to run and race and go crazy because you're saying you weren't being paid enough for that. You were there to do other things. This was an add on what was agreed on with Nduna from the beginning. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? But a man is never a thing. And making a baby with these kinds of people as a prison sentence, you will be serving that out for the rest of your life. Every time they're bored, every time they feel like they want to like feed their little whatever monster that gets like a kick out of seeing you, and all of this crying, how could you do this to me? That stuff makes them happy. It brings them joy. The paragraphs we type, they're telling them they're evil, that does nothing but make them happy. Men are evil, truly despicable, evil people. You don't need to come here and tell me about how you're not all the same, because none of you are in these comments or anyone on social media at the top of your voices the same way you do when it's time to talk about it girls, right? The so-called good men. Not all of them are bad. Bakai right now when it's time to hold this man accountable. Their brethren. Bakai, the good, like this fictitious group of like good men existing in the world. That's why we say like men are trash. That's why we say what we say. There is no need for me to try and separate anything. There's nothing to separate because they go quiet, right? The threat of violence, the threat of being like kicked out of the community. If you say something, if you say something that's in defense of a child or woman, you're pandering. Where are they to hold this man accountable? Right? We're gonna have to do it our damn selves again, and then you all want to come and sit here across from me and tell me about how the same group of people, according to the Bible, they are the ones that are coming to protect you from whom? Themselves. Because they seem to be the fucking danger, and as far as I can see, I don't know what the fuck you're looking at. Your womb is not for play. And Mbaya and Shiwa, that's the other thing that we need to revisit. I just watched the Janes, that documentary on Netflix about like how they came about to legalize abortions, and the Janes was like a not a back street, but a more kosher, an illegal sort of an underground ring of women who are helping other women have somewhat safe abortions, because women needed to get rid of these pregnancies in a society that was not conducive for raising children, or shaming you if you were having this child without a man being next to you or a man claiming you. I cannot believe how much stock we put into these like less than us creatures who can't even feel to the depths that we feel. They're incapable. They don't have it. They're missing a chip. You came from his rib. You came from a maladjusted little fucker's rib. Are you for real right now? Why are you well adjusted then? If you're so much apart, dense. That's why you will never find me back in the church. Ever. I tell you guys all the time, I've been going through shit. And there's never a moment where I kind of feel like I need to like light a candle and pray, or I don't miss it. There's no no resonance also, and I've been free ever since. Because the teachings of some of these faiths is how we end up moving the way we do in these relationships. The correlation is there, and it's very, very strong. You cannot get away from it. Babulukile ngwana without her, because money. And if you have the money, nobody around you, your rahadis, your friends, if you are the source, nobody around you holds you accountable. Nobody around you is going to say to he's the source, he's the life source. Nobody says, no, but we can't just lay this child to rest like Where's the person who carried this child? Nobody's stopping that stuff, right? And nobody's gonna say anything. There are no checks and balances. There's nobody to hold them in place because why? You make sure to keep yes men and women around you. They live off you. People are accusing him of sacrifices and stuff. It is what it is. Whether or not you believe in whether the stuff works or not, we definitely know people try. I'm not saying that's what he did. Whether or not you believe the rituals work, we know people try them. That much we know, right? Whether or not it's successful and they get the monies or they don't, they are going to try. Because what's most important to men is the respect of other men, and it only comes about by ascending economically. And they will do anything, sacrifice anything to get to that level so other men can shake their hands and be like, oh my God, you're that guy. It's the only time they feel any kind of fullness in them. Imagine being that empty of a vessel. Just imagine. I feel bad for this lady. I feel so bad. I hope she gets the justice she deserves. And they need to exhume that baby. They do. They need to see if the helper got mad and swung the baby across the room because she's so fucking tired. They need to see what happened to the child. I don't know how these things happen. I am such a rahadi. My brother does not get to move crazy around matters dealing with like his kids. And I'm just like, yeah, we're going with it. Yeah, we're just gonna go with it. Right? Like, and the kids can't speak up for themselves, and I just keep quiet, right? Because I'm the underachieving aunt and I can back up to this person. I think the fuck not. Learn about me when it comes to his kids. I don't even take him that seriously when it comes to his kids. Like if it's about the kids, oh, we can brawl. It's not even that deep. That's literally my function. Like as a Rahadi, that's my job. And I'm not putting the onus on the women in the family to say they are responsible if a man is misbehaving, because that lends itself to that thing of blaming women. At the same time, women are also the biggest like perpetrators and perpetuators of said patriarchy that harms us. We're the ones that uphold these things, and because we are in charge, right? I've said this to you, of teaching, of carrying on culture, right? We are in charge of all of that. So some of these things, the legacy of them resides in women buying into these ways of doing things. And by so doing, using it to beat other women over the head with it that come into the family. Not protecting these other women because you're like, well, that's just culture, as if it's set in stone. I've said it and I'll say it again. All of these things are constructs, right? Nothing is set in stone. Nothing was bestowed to us by lightning and thunder. Most cultural things were always to address the need of the day. They're going to evolve. Things are going to fall away. Things are going to fall into favor, fall out of favor. Things are going to come back into the fray because they once again needed to. Le negotiate magadi mo ka teams. Look at that COVID. Just a couple of years before that, it would have been such a taboo. Oh my God, we can't do that. We need to pour petrol and get in the car and waste resources and go all the way there, and they need to cook for us, and it needs to be why the day called for it. The takeaway mas ning ning mo lincha magadi all at once. So this idea that you're not gonna say anything to your brother because oh, that's his kids, that's his relationship, it's gonna look like you're butting in, bitch, what? Advocacy. Children need you. You all act. You were here. You were just here, little mamkheti, shaming women for not keeping children that they know that they will not be able to take care of. Shaming us. Now a child needs you to speak up for them. That these children that you care about so fucking much, where are you? Oh, it's such a sin. A sin is looking away and keeping quiet when an actual alive running about the place child is being harmed. That's fucking sinful. Okay? Not the fucking, like, I don't know, red kidney bean that I decided to flush. You have so much to say about like the rice of that fucking sugar bean. But you care so freaking much then. Like what? Like I'm watching teen pregnancy and I've been meaning to sit down and do a video about it because like they uploaded it onto Showmax and I'm just like, no, no. If you're a young girl and and you feel like you're not ready, and there are people in your life saying, "Oh my God, we will help you," they will not. Look at Lesego having to go onto social media to get the assistance that she says she needs. Even in her own family, in the past few years, who's really been by her side trying to help her fight to get her son back or get more access to her son? Who's really been there? Right? People go on about their lives. The hoes are on antidepressants. They got their own shit to deal with. Ain't nobody gonna help you with that shit. See about this Mari Stopes. And I'm not even saying that's what she should have done. She clearly wanted her kid. So this is not that situation, but it's to say you're on your fucking own. I don't care how many times people say they act like they got your back and girl, we're gonna raise it. Like we're gonna raise. Oh, what if this is the only one you're gonna get? Oh, shut the fuck up. Like truly, Nalambora. This woman needs the justice she deserves. Like we ride a dawn. Like now, the moment I hear about it, we were so yeah. Like if it's somewhere that I can access, I because it's too much at this point. Losing a child is not. I'm not even gonna go there. I am not even gonna go there. But I can't imagine that you don't even get to see the child. I can't imagine how you try to get your brain to compute what just transpired if there wasn't a cold body in front of you that you saw. And when the denial creeps in, you reach for those memories to say, no, it's true, it did happen. It's true, it did happen. Like, and I don't know how this person, like, when it sits in. And the other thing about I would have done this and I would have done that and I wouldn't be able to do this and I wouldn't be able to do that. She's literally in fight mode. Like Untwing, who at the fucking war puts down the rifle and like starts to do other non-fighty shit. Who do like bye you guys.